My life has always been monotonous. I come from a comfortable family. I never struggled much in school. Even as I enter my senior year of college, life has yet to reach the point where I feel truly free. I wake up facing each day anew with a relatively fresh mindset. However, in between the filler episodes of life, there are a few things that bring a spark to each day. Competitive events, getting together with family, or music. I don't remember much of my past. Memories flow by, and I can play some formative events, but large swaths of it remain blank. They feel as though someone redacted this information, labeling it for others' eyes only. Whether it was yesterday or from the last 2 decades of my life, one of the few things I can recall in between these large swaths of nothing is what music I was listening to. The soundtrack of my life is vibrant and speaks to my experiences and reminds me of who, where, and what I was. Music has this power to transcend culture, language, space, and time. Barriers are shattered as chords and notes guide the soul of the listener. They become free to interpret a song however their heart desires. One of these moments, from when I was young, a day in 4th grade, I came home feeling rather depressed. But for 4th grade me, regardless of what my younger self's ego would want me to say, I didn't have the words to describe how I was feeling to my mom. Instead, I took her aside and showed her a song, Creative Types by Animated James. Separating the controversy around the song's creator, this song serves as a constant reminder of both where and who I was on that faithful day in the fall of 2016. And soon, one game that explores this powerful aspect of music, shaping and reminding us of who we are, is gonna be released. And as far as my Game of the Year entries are concerned, this game is Unbeatable's development history is as brief as 7.5 years can make it. In late 2017, 2 pals, Andrew Tsai and Jeffrey Chow, come together to develop a gameplay prototype. Following this, to quote the website, a bunch of troublemakers begin to work with the duo across the US, and that's when we get the rest of the core team. Unbeatable is then published as a Kickstarter on April 6th of 2021, and less than 24 hours later, it becomes fully funded. Following its rapid success, the very next day, we received the first playable demo, the arcade mix. And a month later, on May 7th of 2021, we received White Label, which was published to Steam, serving as my introduction to this wonderful franchise. And finally, the full demo was published to Steam almost 4 years later, on April 17th, 2025. Now, I want to talk a little bit about why I love Unbeatable. The gameplay of Unbeatable is broken up into 2 main sections, the open world story and the rhythm section. I'm going to speak from experience in both the arcade mode and the story mode that were given in the demo. First, the arcade mode is the more traditional rhythm game section, and it's exhilarating. And I'm just going to have the devs tell you about it.
Alright, so the pink-haired girl with the microphone in the middle of the screen is Beat, and she is you, and you only have to worry about 2 buttons, up and down. On either side of the screen, enemies and obstacles will advance in high and low rows. When they touch the lines on either side of Beat, you hit up or down accordingly, and Beat will hit them hard. This is...
You can hold some notes and hit other big guys a lot, or if you're me, you just hit them in rhythm with the song. From here, you have the various difficulty settings from easy to... I personally find expert to be a good balance of difficulty and fun, since I'm decent at rhythm games and I like a challenge, but for either casual gamers or masochists, the other options are up to you. The story mode instead is open world and has you taking actions where you find rhythm in everyday life. Whether it's defacing government propaganda, going to a batting cage to hit absolute dingers, or beating up some cops, every action has rhythm to it, and will tell you how good or horrendous you performed at the end.
You suck!
You also interact with various people and things that occur around you. The witty dialogue had me dying. Huge shout out to the pamphlet writer. I love you. But this humor complements a deeper story. The game deals with loss, dealing with your past, and the power of music. All of these aspects are taken in and shown through the lens of Beat, our flawed protagonist who's trying her best to support those around her. You find glimmers of Beat's past throughout various flashbacks and story snippets. I love White Label's flashbacks, and I look forward to seeing the full story in the release. Most of the interactions that I found in the demo center around Beat and Quaver's relationship. Quaver, a 12-year-old girl, is trying to navigate her relationship with her parents, who are no longer around, presumably canned by the HARM, or Harmonious Audio Reduction Maintenance branch of the government. And to navigate her relationship with her past, you explore the same town where her parents grew up and find photo spots where Quaver attempts to recreate the scenes her parents captured in their photographs. You also have two other members of the crew, 18-year-old siblings Treble and Clef, the pianist and the drummer. Although the demo cuts off before the crew gets back together for their first big bash back at the lighthouse, we can only wonder how it occurs. I look forward to navigating the relationship and delving into each character's motivations further once we get the full game. The major theme I noticed throughout White Label and the demo is music is how we fully experience life. Music is present in everything we do, whether it's the tempo of our steps, when a pitching machine throws a ball, or in the creation of art. Music helps us place ourselves and reflect on our past. The flashbacks we get in White Label show us how some of the songs are based on Beat's past. My personal favorite follows when you complete Empty Diary. This flashback follows Beat's tale of starting a diary and how once the conclusion or the flutter in her heart is gone after completing it, it's just another thing to do. And to avoid this, Beat just keeps a collection of papers, something that can never truly be finished or ended. Even in Mirror, we get a cutscene about accepting that we aren't what we think we are. Beat tells us about how she got into a, quote, very adult party because all the other people thought she was just another adult. She's just another person among a crowd. Yet, when she looks in the mirror, all she can see is a kid. The burdening sense of identity and fraud is one that I, and maybe all of us, can connect with. I've been told, and I truly think, the older I get, the better at pretending to look and sound adult I become. Yet to others, this is me. I'm not just pretending to be an adult. I am grown. I am me, regardless of what that mirror shows. Finally, we get to the cutscene I relate to the most. It follows Forever Now. The cutscene pans to Quaver's guitar, but the young girl in the cutscene is Beat. Beat tells us about the pride she felt when learning guitar. She could be free. She was able to grasp the basics quickly and went at the same pace for the rest of her time learning. However, at some point, she lost tempo. She wasn't improving as quickly, and the sense of pride, uncaring attitude about how bad she used to be stopped. She grew more and more frustrated until she gave up on something that made her happy because she wasn't happy just being happy. I can name the multiple times I've given up on things that I enjoyed or opportunities that I turned down just because I wasn't the best or I wasn't improving as fast as I wanted. The feeling in our heart that cries out when you realize the once harmonious symphonies of joy and pleasure devolve into a cacophonous cataclysm of broken chords with an unruly chorus. The only thing that follows is a rest that'll never end, pure silence. It's the stories that the game tells, the ones that we can all relate to, that make me so excited for this game to come out. A game 7-ish years in the making that crafts wonderful stories that grapple with the human experience and how music is a part of our soul. In a world where music is illegal, where the only acceptable sounds of our life is devoid of rhythm, that we are able to find not only in our own experiences, but down to the very function of our bodies, our blood pumping, our heart beating, that the world would not collapse, but our way of life and many people's pride, joy, purpose would disappear. How can you hype yourself up for a speech that you're scared about, or hit a new PR at the gym? How can you understand heartbreak that you're feeling, if not heard through the relaxing voice of those who can put those feelings in an elegant elevation of the same experience? This video is not for me to soliloquy about how music has affected my life, using this game as a thinly veiled reason to explore this concept. Instead, I want you and everyone here to see this game and to reflect on how music affects you. In a world like ours, where music is used to express our deepest desires, I want to show people a game that highlights that. I want people to hear the music that I've grown to love over the last 4 years and to use as a way to relate to me in the same way that my mom was able to relate to 4th grade me, and the same way that it can help you relate to those around you, regardless of your relationship to them. Music can place you in an environment where, hidden beneath a charming voice or deep instrumentals of a song, a story that the composer, the listener, and those around you can come and relate to is revealed in a way that simple words may never express. Thank you all for watching. It's been my pleasure. And for my obligatory outro, this is obviously my first video. This is my first video, and I want to give a shout out to my friend Arctic, who's editing this. He's an absolute Chad, and if for whatever reason you want to reach him, he's a little weird, but you can reach him in the description. And also, I will link my Twitch channel, where I sometimes am active and play games as horrendous as League of Legends and as wonderful as Unbeatable. As I stated, I'm going into my senior year of college, so I hope that I can maybe be consistent, but with 2 theses to write by the end of the year and even more stuff to do, it's rough. If I do go live, I will probably post about it in my community tab, and you can find more information about me there. And I just want to say once again to all of you, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or good night. I've never seen The Truman Show, but I've always said that, so I hope that it's true. Thank you guys, and have a great day.